I've been doing Mighty Acorns for 18 years, and I have lots of stories, so I'll try to do a lot of little stories. So this is the group from Johnson School, and we've been working with them for about 8 years. And this is at Summer Lakes Park in Warrenville. And actually, our relationship with Warrenville Park District goes back way further than that. Jim, where's Jim Kleinwachter? Are you around? I think you started doing the prairie there in I think you told me 89. And he also worked with the school groups there too, not necessarily Mighty Acorns, so we've had a very, very, very long relationship with this school and the Warrenville Park District. So if you don't know what Mighty Acorns is, it is a regional curriculum that is stewardship-based, and the main values of the program is the stewardship component, engaging students, having meaningful interactions with local ecosystems, and also to foster lifelong connection with nature. And hopefully they'll grow up to be citizens who get involved in their community, whether they're have a career in environmental area, or whether they get involved with some of these projects you've heard about before. One thing that is a little bit different than what Andy was talking about, a lot of the kids that we work with come from areas where their neighborhoods may be dangerous, they can't go outside, they may live in apartments, so they don't have these opportunities to get out and make these connections with nature. So but with the Mighty Acorns program, we can really provide them those opportunities that they can get. Oops. Okay, so the main thing with Mighty Acorns is engaging, and these are some pictures we've taken over the years. Here's our former education director, Judy Fichette, with a 4-foot-long snake engaging the students. And a lot of kids who don't have that connection with nature or have those opportunities, a lot of them have fear of nature. And so by engaging them, looking at a little baby painted turtle or seeing a big snake, and having those opportunities to get close up with nature, and they get to understand it a little bit better and maybe not be afraid. This was back in the fall with the Warrenville Park District, so back at Summer Lakes again. And this was a woman who had worked for the library, and she was retired, but she still puts this display of monarchs out to educate the public. And she had asked the Park District if she could come out on our Mighty Acorns Day and share with the students information about the monarchs, and she raised them, and then the kids got to release them. So here they are waving goodbye to the monarchs so they could go on to Mexico, and then this beautiful butterfly picture is courtesy of Ramon again. And then the other big thing about what we do in Mighty Acorns is we explore. So we give them all kinds of tools to let them do that. So here the kids are using binoculars to look at birds. And here, Maura Neufer, she's here somewhere, and I told her I was going to call her out. So here's in the fall, we were doing an insect study, and she's like coaxing the kids in there, like, come on, let's look at those insects. So again, it's a lot of our educators have so much passion about nature and just sharing those experiences with the kids. And they just, I mean, we found grasshoppers, and we found one here, I think it was last fall, we found 5 or 6 like praying mantis, and they were so excited. A lot of them had never even seen a praying mantis. And there's Jim down in the prairie with the kids and the nets. So they were, I think, finding lots and lots of grasshoppers that day. And again, you know, giving them a chance to get up close. So we've got the hand lenses, we've got the butterfly nets, we've got the bug boxes, and so many kids ask me when we're done, is like, can I bring one of these hand lenses home, or can I take one? It's like, well, we give them for the other kids, but they just get so involved. You can see how these girls are like really looking at the insects up close to find out how many legs they have, or what colors they are. All right, and Adam, I'm going to call you out too. He's in the back there. So we couldn't do this without the cooperation of the Warrenville Park District, and he has been wonderful. So this is back in the fall. Adam and his crew were cutting down some buckthorn with the big chainsaws, and the kids are like, do we get to use those? And we're like, no, but we're going to give you loppers and saws. And so we actually give 9-year-olds loppers and saws, and it's so funny because they want to cut down the biggest tree, and they have a lot of fun with that. So a big part of Mighty Acorns is stewardship. We go out 3 times a year, fall, winter, spring. Here in the fall, we usually do like a seed collecting. This was at, there's a lot of teasel problems at Summer Lake, so they were cutting off the teasel heads. In the winter, we do a lot of buckthorn removal. Last spring, was it last spring, Adam, that you guys did the burn? So they, the Warrenville Park District had gone out ahead of time and done a burn, and so Conservation Foundation, we had some extra plugs, so the kids were planting in that area. And then Adam had a great activity with the kids doing seed bombing. So for the seeds we had collected in the fall, he had them make seed balls, and then the picture at the bottom, they were throwing them. And you have to know, and this day, if you remember, it was like 40 degrees, and it was, winds were like 40 miles an hour, but he still got them really engaged and involved. And then last spring, Warrenville, there were ash trees here that were cut down, and so last one teacher, she had the kids come out and we planted a burrow. And this is Mrs. Ishpita. She's been involved with us for the last 7 years. And the thing for her, which she says a lot of her kids struggle in the classroom, and there's some of them are English second language, but she said, and this is her quote, that when the kids go out to do Mighty Acorns, they are rock stars, and they can feel successful and feel good about themselves because they're helping their community. Other places we're involved is Elgin Boys and Girls Club in Elgin. Here's Wagner School in West Chicago. You can see how the kids love cutting out the big giant trees. And this is Naperville Park District. We work with the Eco Club at Meadowglen School. And real quick story about this, the Park District brought out 250 plugs, and the Park District said, well, if the kids don't get to them, you know, we'll do it. I'll have my crew do them the next day. Well, the kids got them all done, and they were like, well, what would we do next? And then we told them, well, they could weed, and they were happy to do that. So, and I just want to leave with the last slide is that it's not only the connection with nature, but it's the people in the community that care. And so I think especially with the students that we work with, that to have somebody care about them and to show the care for the community, their community, and how they can get involved, that's really important.